What's good, y'all, man? It's time for college football Saturday. Yes, sir. It is here, man. Regular season is winding down. Y'all already know what time it is, man. It's time for the feature matchup selection. You know what I'm saying? I've already done some videos on just each matchup, picking like the top three, breaking it down, my thoughts, my analysis, and what I thought, who I'm going with. But now it's time for predictions, man. Like I said, I'll do that each week going forward. When we have even better slates, I'll do maybe even 4 to 5. But this week, we already talked about some of them. We'll start with Tennessee, Georgia. I already told you who I'm going with. I'll keep it short. I told y'all what to look out for. Protecting the football is a must for Carson Beck. 14 turnovers in the past 6 games. He leads FBS. That's not going to get it done. He has to take care of the football. They got to get a better game plan. They got to win the trenches. I'm going with Georgia, though. I know Nico is going to be back for Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good sign for them. Georgia's going to be without Trevor Etienne. But I think with their back against the wall, playoff atmosphere, playoff-type game, Georgia's going to come out on top because their playoff lives is on the line. You got to win this. You know what I'm saying? And I know you're going to look at these rankings and see this is from On3. This is via AP poll. You know what I'm saying? So college football playoff poll is different. But this was put out on Sunday, so I do want to kind of make that known as well. All right, next up is Texas and Arkansas. Texas is going to have to be careful because that is a tough environment to play in as well with Arkansas. Texas is obviously used to that. But that's a team that if you're not careful and you messing around and they get a little lead on you, they're going to bleed some clock, right? Taylor Green, they can run the ball. He's having a pretty underrated season but been playing well. Texas better be careful. You know what I'm saying? They better be careful in that one and try to stop the rushing attack as well because if not, it could be a long day. But nonetheless, I'm going with Texas to come out on top. But that is one to watch out potentially for with the Razorbacks and how tough they continue to play. All right, next up, you got Clemson and Pitt. Big-time ACC matchup between both of those teams. Clemson, you ranked at number 17. College football playoff hopes is probably in the balance. Not looking too good for you right now potentially and what you can do. You're going to need some chaos. But you got to handle your business. Pitt was ranked for most of the season and dropped a couple games now. It's on the road at Pittsburgh. It's not going to be easy, but this is a game you got to step up. Sammy Brown had a big-time game last week for those Clemson fans out there. I think he had 8.5 tackles in that one, 2 sacks. So they're definitely going to have to go in there and win that game. Cade Klubnik, on the road, this is a team you got to beat. You know what I'm saying? This team you got to beat. Now, ACC is unfortunate because you got new additions, so it's not like last year where you had divisions and things like that. So it's going to be tough to get in there, especially with having 2 losses in having 2 losses in general for Clemson, only one ACC loss. But I'm going to go with the Tigers on the road. They should be able to beat Pittsburgh. All right, next up, we've already talked about this one, but Colorado and Utah, I told you what to look out for now when their running backs having a special season for them. The trenches for Colorado, both sides, has been a lot better offensively, defensively. Defensively, get out the passer, lead the Big 12 with 29 sacks. Offensively, blocking it up well for Shedeur Sanders. Just don't have no turnovers. But you got to get it out to a lead, man, and cruise comfortably. I think it's the key for Colorado. I'm rolling with the Buffaloes. All right, next up, Virginia, Notre Dame. Notre Dame surprises sometimes when they play bad teams. They struggle a little bit at home, but it shouldn't be the case, man. They should be able to handle business and beat this Virginia team, who I know lately they've been winning some games. They've been a team to watch out for. But Notre Dame, with their defense, they should be able to win. Now, I know some of you SEC fans are like, why is Notre Dame ranked so high? Why are they over my SEC teams? Look, they got a loss against Northern Illinois. A loss is a loss regardless of how you look at it. Other than that, Notre Dame has been one of the better teams in college football this year. Got to give respect to respect is due. And this is a national brand. When you look and you see that logo, you know it's the Fighting Irish if you follow any college football. You know what I'm saying? They are a historic program. So they're going to be in over your 2-loss SEC team or your 3-loss SEC team, whatever you want to say. Notre Dame deserves it to be in, unless they lose again. Rolling with the Fighting Irish to win that one. All right, big-time game. LSU, Florida. Florida could potentially just end it all out for LSU. Now, when you look at LSU and their losses, they only have 2 SEC. So they still in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? But a third SEC loss, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's over with. So if you Florida and you get DJ Lagway back who's expected to play, you feel good because this team has been same thing. And I don't want to keep being a dead horse, but up and down, inconsistent, all game long, all day long. So they're gonna have to come out. They're gonna probably come out pissed off if you're LSU. Got to try to come out with a win. But I like Florida in this one. I'm gonna go upset. I think Florida trending in the right direction. I know they just got beat down by Texas, but this ain't Texas. This is LSU, respectfully. And they have not been consistent enough for me. Defense struggled to stop the run. Florida can run the ball with Montreal Johnson. and they can hit you over the top with big plays. I'm going with the Gators. All right, next up, you got Nebraska versus USC. Big game for both programs that are kind of struggling right now coming into this matchup. Definitely going to have to see what happens. USC made a change at quarterback. No more Miller Moss. That's kind of key there. They're going with a different guy. He could potentially be the starter going forward for years to come. Nebraska, up and down, same kind of thing. Started the year strong, beat Colorado. Was beating some good teams, but now struggling now. See if they can find their footing, man. Tough game to call, but I'm going to go with USC at home. They should win it. All right, next up, you got Missouri, South Carolina. I've already talked about this one. I'm rolling with the Gamecocks with their ability to run the football and with the backup quarterback potentially playing for Missouri. Doesn't bode well for them. I think South Carolina's going to go in and win that game. Great defensive line, great defensive front, great front seven. Kyle Kennard, several really good guys for them. They think the Gamecocks are going to handle that one pretty handily against Missouri. They come out on top. All right, next up, Wisconsin, Oregon. Wisconsin, up and down year. Lost to Alabama earlier this year, I believe it was. I think Oregon, it's going to be difficult to beat them. Has steadily improved. Dan Lanning has this team, has the pulse of this team, and he knows what he's doing humbly. And like I said, he's just winning a multitude of ways. Dylan Gabriel spreads the ball around, with his team. They can run it with Jordan James. They got a bunch of weapons on the outside. Defense is having a great year. This is a really complete football team. So I think it's going to take a tougher team to beat them, a college football playoff team to beat them humbly. I think they handle business against Wisconsin. All right, last but not least, you got BYU and Kansas. Man, I ain't going to lie to y'all. If Kansas was at home, I might go with this one with an upset. But with them being on the road, going to BYU, that's a tough place to play, man. It really is. Like, that's how lethal, that's how elite that place is. And it's underrated, but it's one of the better college football atmospheres. Now, I'm not comparing it to SEC and what they have going on with Death Valley, Alabama and the Crimson Tide, formerly Bryant-Denny Stadium, now Saban Field. I'm not comparing it to that. But overall, best college football atmosphere, BYU has it, man. And I think after that controversial game where they was able to pull it out and win, I think that was a wake-up call for them. And I think they're going to be able to look now and say, okay, we got to prove A, B, C, D. Let's go through it, work it out during practice. Let's look at the film. I think they're going to be ready, and I think they handle business. So going with BYU with the win at home, 10:15 on ESPN. All right, y'all. So that's my thoughts, man. So as y'all know, just real quick picks: Georgia, Texas, Clemson, Colorado, Notre Dame, Florida, USC, South Carolina, Ducks, and then obviously BYU. That's my picks, man. Comment below. Week 12, who you got as college football kicks off? Major weekend for some teams. College football playoffs on the line, potentially for a lot of these teams and what they're able to do. We're going to find out, man, and have the full reaction afterwards. All right, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. See y'all soon.